student who lives just 20 kilometers outside of Prague and who also enjoys a sport I've loved for many years, flying airplanes off water. Here he is, your 2010 Formula Future Class 3 World Champion from the Czech Republic, Zdeněk Hubavček. Awarding the plate is Luis Caballero from the UIM administrator from Portugal. Luis?
Mr. Calvario, please, would you stay here until it's awarded? Thank you.
Still in the young brigade, now Formula Future Class 4.
Here's a 14-year-old who comes from a country with a great tradition in powerboat racing. They alone have 31 Grand Prix victories in the Formula One H2O series, and they have 4 world champions in the past 30 years. From the UK, your new Formula Future Class 4 champion, Jordan Muckle.
So Jordan Muckles is the new Formula Future World Champion for Class 4. Thank you, Jordan. Now Class 5.
Portugal is another country that is special to powerboat racing. Its great support in the sport has seen numerous venues in both local and international competition. And hopefully they'll carry that tradition on by winning the class with a Formula Future Class 5 championship from lovely Portugal, Sebastiano Rodrigues.
From Portugal, Sebastião Rodrigues is the Class 5 Formula Future 2010 World Champion. Thank you, Sebastião. Thank you, Mr. Calvario. Now let's start with the circuit endurance categories.
Well, Andrea, you know, the French have led the world in circuit endurance racing in the recent years, and this past 12 calendar months, it's continued this tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2010 Endurance Class 1 World title holders, Fabrice M., Sébastien Joutier, and Mathieu Machon. Awarding the plate will be Mr. Sami Abu Ashaka, UIM Council Administrator from Qatar.
From France, Mr. Aimé, Mr. Joutier, and Mr. Manchon are the new circuit endurance Class 1 champions. You guys, now class 2.
It's with a heavy heart that this next team comes forward this evening. As one of the team members in the championship, Tony Verdun passed away at the age of 35. This team is led by a 5-time consecutive world champion, Eric Dublé, along with last year's partner in the title, Franck Delamare. Come here again tonight with mixed emotions, but satisfaction of another season of greatness mixed with grief. Here they are, your Endurance 2 Class 2 champions, Eric Dublé and Franck Delamare.
Eric Dublé and Franck Delamare from France, Circuit Endurance, Class 2, new champions. From Class 2, straight to Class 3.
As we close out the endurance classes for the evening, the next crew is led by one of the famous family names in all of power boating. 28-year-old Tulio Abate Jr. captured with his 2 crew members, Pablo Gallia of Spain and Dennis Janigo of France, the always competitive Endurance Class 3 Championship. From Italy, Spain, and France, your Endurance Class 2 champions.
Tullio Maria Abate, Pablo Galilea, and Dennis Yarnigon, the Endurance Class 3 World Champion. Italy, France, France. Thank you, Tullio, Pablo, and Dennis. And thank you, Mr. Abu Shaika. Now, circuit S550.
Moving on to the World Circuit classes, we begin with a driver from Hungary who is just 19 years old and has a great future ahead of him if he keeps up this same pace. He's a 2-time world champion in Endurance Pneumatics Class 1 field, and this past season took both the European World titles and the S550 Championship. From the lovely country of Hungary, ladies and gentlemen, Aran Tabori, and warring the plate is Mr. Fred Hauenstein, president of Common Sport.
From Hungary, Aran Tabori, new S550 World Champion. Thank you, Aaron. Still in circuit now, T400 category.
This 24-year-old driver from Finland just keeps on winning. He's defending champion in 2010 and has also been a past 2006 European champion as well. And who would believe it or not, but he's also a volunteer fire brigade official, so if there's a fire tonight, we know who to call. And he must fire up the competition as well. Ladies and gentlemen, your Circuit T400 World Champion, Ville Makinen.
From Finland, Ville Makinen, T400 World Champion. From Finland to Poland, from T400 to T550.
Andrea, the great country of Poland is fantastic. We've been there before, and I'll tell you something. Our first winner from the country of Poland tonight is your winner in the T550 class, Marcin Musha. Come on up.
So, Marcin Mucha is the new world champion for circuit T550 from Poland. Thank you, Marcin. Now it's time for circuit F4S champion.
Our next competitor, believe it or not, took driving lessons no less than 30 years ago, and later survived a... Fred, don't run off, Freddie. Come on back up here, bud. We're gonna keep you working one more time. As we mentioned, this guy has been driving for a very long time, and he briefly retired, but started building his own small offshore boats and got back to racing in a quick time. He joined the 4S class and won the World Championship on the Danube River in Dunaúj Város this past summer. He made it. Finally, our 4S champion from Sweden, Daniel Sparring.
From Sweden, the F4S World Champion, Mr. Daniel Sparring. Thank you, Daniel, and thank you, Mr. Hamstein. Now circuit JT 250.
Thank you, Fred. Another budding teenager with a great future who's been racing for just 3 seasons, but already this past year won the European and world titles in his class. And when the winter comes, he switches the world to the best frozen water sport in the world, that's ice hockey. And your new world champion in the world circuit JT 250 class from Latvia, Nikita Leach. Awarding the trophy will be Mr. Christer Gustafsson, the UIM administrator from Sweden.
From Latvia, Nikita Lijic is the JT 250 World Champion. Congratulations, Nikita, for this big achievement. Let's switch now to JT30.
Well, it's not easy to follow success in the family when you come from a family that's filled with champions and professional star-studded racers who also compete worldwide on the F1 H2O Tour. Is success born in the genes? Well, we think so, and I think his father Christian believes so too. This time, ladies and gentlemen, from Sweden, your new GT30 World Champion, Philip Lundin.
Philip Lundin from Sweden is the circuit JT30 World Champion.
Thank you, Philip. And thank you, Mr. Gustafsson. Thank you, gentlemen.
After the first bingo of this gala, we move on with the third group of circuit champions. Let's start with the River Marathon.
All right, one of the most grueling and challenging series in this World Circuit River Marathon event. And starting things off in this class, the class outboard 2,000 winners from Mexico, Gurel Aleman and Jaime Arturo Lara. Awarding the trophies will be Mr. Bob Wartinger, president of Common Safe. Please come and join us on stage.
Uriel Aleman and Jaime Arturo Lara from Mexico are the new world champion for Circuit River Marathon Outboard 2000. Award the trophy, Mr. Bob Wartinger. Thank you, Jaime. Thank you, Uriel. Now let's proceed with River Marathon Class Jet Boat.
We're up next with veteran racers who have raced all over North America, from Mexico to Canada and back again. Frank Murray has enjoyed speed sports for 20 years, along with his partner Dave. Here are your River Marathon Jet Boat Class B World Champions from Canada, Frank Murray and Dave Hazlitt.
So the River Marathon Jet Boat Class B champions are Frank Murray and Dave Hazlitt from Canada. After Canada, back to Mexico for other two River Marathon Class Jet Boat B champions.
Good to have some North Americans up on stage tonight. And how about now if we take away the pressures of being a medical doctor? How do you get rid of those pressures? Well, for Virgilio Garcia Torres and his family member Jose, they both are passionate about their pursuit of fun, and they find it not only with success, but being together as the Garcia Torreses keep on winning this their second UIM title. And the River Marathon Jet Boat Class D World title goes to the two from Mexico. Come on up, Virgilio and Jose Torres.
Mexico, the River Marathon Jet Boat Class D champions are Virgilio and Jose Garcia Torres. Thank you guys, thank you Mr. Wartinger. From River Marathon to Unlimited Displacement category.
Next up is a driver who's been racing since he was 12 years old, set a speed record at 17, and this year being crowned for the first time the UIM Unlimited Displacement World Champion in Goal, New South Wales in Australia. From Australia, Troy Marlin. And awarding the plates, Frode Sundsdal, UIM Administrator from Norway.
Troy Marland from Australia is the 2010 Circuit Unlimited Displacement World Champion. Congratulations, Troy, and thank you to be with us. You did a really long journey. Now, Circuit Formula 500.
We move on to the Formula category, and the first up is a very talented Italian driver who started racing back in the 1980s, where he won his first national title. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, he was in an accident 2 days ago and is hospitalized. So we kindly asked Claudio Gazza to come up and collect the plate on behalf of Tiziano Trombetta.
Retire the plates, Claudia Gazza. On behalf of Tiziano Trombetta. Thank you, Claudia. Bravo Tiziano, still on the top. Now it's time for the Formula 2 World Champion.
Here's a driver who has believed in the old saying that if you stick with it long enough and believe in what you are doing, good things will come your way. And believe me, for this Dutch driver who has now captured the World Formula 2 title the last 2 years in a row, his victories in Italy paved his way to a success in 2010 from the Nederland, your F2 World Champion for another year, Johan Koenraadi.
Again, world champion in Formula 2, Mr. Johan Koenraadi from Netherlands. Un applausino. Thank you, Johan and Frode. And now the ultimate category in the circuit group. It's time for the top Formula 1 world champion.
Well, a driver that I've known personally for 15 years. It took him a few seasons to win his first race, like 9. But once he did, he's been a remarkable story of pure drama and success. Coming from behind in the points race and winning the title at the very last event for the second time in the last 4 years on the worldwide UIM Formula 1 H2O World Championship Tour from Helsinki, Finland, Sami Salio.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Finland, the new Formula One World Champion, Mr. Sami Sejo. Thank you, Sami. Thank you, Nicolo. Now still in circuit for APBA KHBA champion.
Thank you, gentlemen. Another teenage racing sensation and a 16-year-old in our first Floridian of the evening. This woman had an almost perfect year in 2010, traveling more than 20,000 kilometers across America in a 6-month time. She went from Florida to Minnesota and back again more than once, winning at both places. A special year for a special talent. Ladies and gentlemen, your APBA K-Pro Hydro World Champion from Malabar, Florida in the USA, Wendy Eldridge.
Wendy Eldridge from USA is the new world champion in APBA K-Pro Hydro Series. After Wendy, the amazing circuit P750 Blueprint champion.
Well, Andrea, it's time to head south of the equator to South Africa, which is a special place in the heart of the sport. It continues in 2010 when Desjan Schutt and his partner Ansel Jans van Duden took the world circuit in the P750 Blueprint World Champion. Come on up, gentlemen.
So from the far South Africa, the P750 Blueprint World Champion, Schutt and Van Vuren. Let's switch now straight to P750 Modified.
Well, this duo was led by a 39-year-old who's been racing 15 years and has been crowned at 21 different championships. This past year, he won the regional, national, and world title along with his partner in his 5th season of racing, taking the P750 Modified world title in South Africa. Come on up on stage, gentlemen. Barry Max and Yolandi Van Dyke from South Africa.
The circuit P750 Modified champions are Barry Marks and Yolandi Van Dyke. Thank you. Now it's time for circuit P750 standard. Two brothers now.
Well, the Butler brothers, led by older Gordon, who is back for another year and who has been winning at least one title in his home country of South Africa since he got serious about the sport back in 2001. Bringing your younger 20-year-old brother along with him for a crowning success in another world championship. Ladies and gentlemen, from South Africa, your winner in the P750 standard class, the Butler brothers, Gordon and Donovan.
Gordon and Donovan Butler are the new circuit P750 standard world champion. Thank you guys, thank you Mr. Reed. Thank you Mr. Reed. Now a very special moment. The UIM since last year gala has created a special annual perpetual award together with the Casiraghi family, honoring Stefano Casiraghi, his name and what he did in our sport. Please, if the UIM President Raffaele Chiulli and Mr. Fabio Ravenna can join us on the stage. This trophy is to be given to a person who in his career has done something special in improving and developing power boating. The first name which has been printed on the plaque of this trophy was a great man, Mauro Ravenna. This year UIM decided to award the Stefano Casiraghi Memorial Trophy following the Mauro Ravenna spirit to a man whom has dedicated most of his career in improving the sport of power boating. Ladies and gentlemen, this year the Stefano Casiraghi Memorial Trophy is for Mr. Vincenzo Iaconianni. They both retire a replica of the perpetual trophy which is on your right. One is for Fabio Ravenna representing his father Mauro, which is no more with us, and one is for Mr. Iacoino.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I am proud and I feel honored of this award. I wish to imaginate to dedicate this premium, this prize, all the people that working hard for the powerboating sport and especially for the safety in the sport of paraboating. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vincenzo, and I would like to give the floor to Fabio, please.
I will say only a few words. I wish to thank Mr. Raffaele Chiulli, President of the UIM, friend of Mauro, true friend of Mauro, and I give a little hello from Mauro to all of you. Have a good evening.
I do not have anything to add. I feel just emotion having here with me two friends of Mauro, Fabio, his son, and Vincenzo, with whom we share very important moments. Mauro, wherever you are, you have all our respect and our friendship forever. Thank you.
After the Stefano Casiraghi Memorial Trophy, now it's time to present a new UIM Awards created this year thanks to the effort of our institution towards environment and eco-sustainability. The UIM Environmental Award has been launched in order to inspire and recognize excellence in innovation, development and application of environmentally friendly technologies. For this 2010, UIM selected one overall winner and two special mentions. Let's start awarding the special mention for economic feasibility.
This nautical group developed a project that preserved boating comfort, reduced running costs, and reduced carbon emissions footprint of a boating family. Now, dear guests, in 2010, the Environmental Awards Special Mention for Economic Feasibility is for the Seaway Group from Slovenia. Mr. Tilan Jukopin, please come up on stage. Tilan, please. And awarding this trophy is Mr. Ricardo Belicio and Sveven Elvin of the UIM Environmental Working Group.
Economic feasibility is for C Group Slovenia. Mr. Tilen Jakopi awarding the trophy